Hey guys, welcome back to Loft Sports. I'm Tyler.
I'm Seth.
Today we're going to be coming at you with our NFC North rundown, but please continue to like our page on Facebook, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, comment with video recommendations you'd like to see, and as always, trash talk is welcome. Alright, so what are the big storylines for this upcoming season in the NFC North?
Yeah, in the NFC North, I'm going to start it up north with Minnesota. They paid Kirk Cousins all that money. It's time for him to shut up. They didn't pay him just to finish second in their division. They paid him to win a Super Bowl. That's the biggest storyline there. Can he deliver? The Bears, was that a fluke last year? Can they sustain their success? Were they just kind of a flash in the pan, new system? We've seen it before in the NFL. Can they repeat it? The Lions, I mean, is there anything other than Stafford that gives them a hope of competing in the division? That's my... I mean, it's hard to even think of something for the Lions that even is relevant. The Packers, Aaron Rodgers' health, the relationship with his new coach kind of started off rocky, probably getting a little bit better now. That's the big storyline there. He's obviously the cog that turns that wheel for him. So he's either going to have a good season, and they'll have a good season. It's just how it is. His health is paramount to their success.
Alright, so let's go ahead and rank these teams based on where we think they will finish the season. Starting at number 4, I have Detroit. Like you touched on a minute ago, Matthew Stafford has a mega contract that Detroit may be paying on into the next century, but around him, they just don't have anything.
Yeah, I think they got his tombstone covered.
Yeah, I mean, most of their receivers have departed or been traded away. I'm not even sure who their running back is right now. I think it's Kerryon Johnson, but they've always had issues with running the football. Defensively, they've been very average. I just don't think this team is going anywhere, and they're not a terrible team, but they're kind of stuck in that middle of not getting good enough draft picks to make a difference to help Stafford, but they're not making any progress either.
Yeah, I mean, I have them in 4th too, to kind of piggyback off a couple things you said. Eventually, they're going to have to look at it for what it is. They're paying Matt Stafford all this money. He's a great player, but obviously he's not a big difference maker for them. They might need to look at potentially trying some type of trade to get out of that contract with the team who's a little more hungry to start a rebuilding process. I mean, that's where the Lions are at, is do we rebuild or do we keep going and see what pieces and see what might happen? It's a tough division. It's one of the better competitive divisions in the NFC, especially with the Chicago revival. I just don't think it's enough to challenge. I got them 4th as well.
My 3rd place team may surprise some people, but I think there's 3 really good teams in this division. I'm sorry, I have the Vikings at 3rd. I think there's some great pieces there. I love Diggs and Thielen at the receiving positions. Dalvin Cook, when healthy, is a borderline elite running back. But that defense has gotten a little bit older. I love Harrison Smith. He's a Notre Dame guy. But I just don't feel like they're there. I think their window has closed on that defense, and Cousins is good enough to have you guys in that 9 to 10 win ballpark. But with Chicago's revival, I just see you guys as the 3rd best team.
I got the Packers finishing 3rd, not just because I absolutely hate the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, I think he's at that point in his career where maybe some of that hunger he had before is gone. His health, he always seems to have something wrong with him. He's starting to complain more about coaching and everything like that. I just don't think he's as focused, as hungry as he was. I'm not saying he's not still capable of doing things. But, I mean, he just always has health issues. He'll probably get hurt week 2 against Minnesota. It's kind of a pattern that happens. I don't know. I don't trust he'll be healthy the full year, and I don't think there's enough around him. That defense has aged. I just don't see enough pieces there to compete in the division, really, with the top 2 teams. I got them in 3rd.
My 2nd place team is the Bears. I think it's going to be hard for them to repeat the success they had last season. They should have won that playoff game.
They're not sneaking up on anybody this year.
Everybody's going to be more prepared. And when you look at Chicago's season last year, their turnover margin was incredible.
Insane.
There's no way they're going to have that good of a turnover margin 2 years in a row.
Right.
I think that Trubisky can show some signs of progression, but I don't think he's ready to just take the league by storm. I think it's a backward step for Chicago. They might sneak in a wild card spot, but I don't think they're winning this division 2 years in a row.
See, I kind of have him right there as that potential wild card, but I do see him taking a step back. I don't think Trubisky needs to take the NFL by storm. I don't think he needs to be elite. They have the second best defensive player in the league who does amazing things. There's a reason for that turnover margin, that defensive success. Everything is predicated around Khalil Mack and what he's able to do. I do think they take a step back, though. I do have him in second.
My division winner, a little bit of a reach, but I just don't see Green Bay struggling, what would it be, 3-4 years in a row now. Aaron Rodgers is too good of a quarterback. When he's healthy, he's a top 5 quarterback in this league.
Nah, that's not true.
I just disagree. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is an elite player. He's the captain of that ship. I agree with what you said about him throwing some temper tantrums and disagreeing with coaches. That's a little bit toxic, and that's a little bit uncaptain-like. But I think when it's said and done, he's the best player in this division. And I think he is going to get this team back on the winning track. They've added some pieces. They've got a running game now. If their defense, which is their biggest question, can keep them close enough, we know what Rodgers can do with the ball in the fourth quarter. I know there's some people that don't like him, but I think he's the best quarterback and the best player in this division, maybe outside of Khalil Mack. But the quarterback position is more impactful than even a defensive rusher. I think Green Bay gets back in the playoffs and wins this division.
My division winner, I got Minnesota winning it. I wouldn't have picked them last year. I just think the biggest thing with them is if Cook can stay healthy, he adds another dynamic with Diggs, Thielen. I like the new addition of Irv Smith from Alabama.
You had him to take Murray too, didn't you?
No, we had him last year. I believe he's now in New Orleans now. But if Dalvin Cook stays healthy, he brings this offense a whole nother level. It's not all on Kirk Cousins' shoulder. I do agree the defense has aged a little bit, but you still have Xavier Rhodes, who's a top 3 corner in the league, can shut down opposing receivers. Harrison Smith is one of the best all-around safeties in the game. Younger defensive linemen and younger linebackers that need to take a step up this year. Zimmer's a great coach, though. He'll get that defense right this year. I don't see them having 2 drop-off years defensively in a row. The talent's there, and he's too good of a defensive coach for that. I see him putting the pieces together. I don't necessarily think they can make a deep run because I don't trust Cousins in the playoffs, but I think this team is good enough and prepared enough to win the division this year.
All right, so that wraps up our thoughts on the NFC North for the 2019 season. We'll be coming at you next time with our AFC North breakdown. That'll be the last of our NFL divisional videos for the season. Please continue to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. This is Loft Sports, signing off.
Say it with your chest.